Good evening, everyone. Hello, everyone.
Good evening.
Jeffrey, where you been? I missed you. I don't see you in the morning with us. Hello, Marky. Hello, Dr. Liz. How's it, everyone?
Shalom, Rav. How are you? Shalom, Rav.
All right, we have Frank with us. We have Eitan with us. Mark with us. Dr. Liz with us. Obviously, Jeffrey, I was speaking of. Lionel with us. Who else with us? Anthony and Ivor with us. Who else with us? Okay, Stephen also joining us. Good. Dr. Les, please give us the news.
Okay, so I'm just going to mention this coming Tuesday is actually going to be Yom HaShoah. I hope you're going to be commemorating in South Africa, the Jewish community. But here in Israel, it's a major big deal. There's going to be many different ceremonies. I'm actually going to two. In the morning, it's a very interesting organization, B'nai Brit. And there's an organization that recognizes that Jews, that saved Jews in the Shoah. You know, we know of the very righteous Gentiles, and it is incredible what they did, risking their lives in order to save Jews. So Yad Vashem has Chasidei Mot Olam, righteous amongst the Gentiles. But then the question is, what about Jews that also went out of their way to save other Jews? So on Tuesday morning at 10, when they have the siren at the, it's called the Pillar of Fire, B'nai Brit, International B'nai Brit, they have this amazing museum. It's just outside Yerushalayim, and they're going to be honoring Jews that saved Jews in the Shoah, and one can give nominations, and I'm actually giving 2 nominations for our very own Rav Auerbach's wife, Adassa's mother, Ellie Braun, who was just nifter a few months ago, and she was, I think, 99 or 98. I went to see her and I did an interview. So she saved in France. She personally saved Yidden. And I met in London Marla Trebech, her brother, Sir Ben Halfgott. He was a weightlifter and he was one of the Windermere boys. So she's an incredible lady, also in her 90s, and she personally saved other Jews. So I'm going to be nominating these 2 ones alive. This Marla Trebech, she's amazing, and also for Eddie Braun, that's Hadassah's mother, Alava Shalom. And so if anybody knows of Jews that saved Jews during the Shoah, I really would strongly recommend if you could give me their names, or I'd give you the contact details, because it's very important that they are also.
He's on mute.
Dr. Les, you are muted.
Oh.
Let me unmute you. Okay. You're unmuted now. Sorry. Dr. Les, are you unmuted? No, not yet. Let me just see.
And now it's unmuted?
Yeah, now it's unmuted. Yeah.
I'm sorry, so Rob, before you couldn't hear anything. Oh my goodness.
No,
okay,
just
so
the last. No, it's just the last few minutes.
Okay, so on Thursday, Rob, I won't be able to join because we're having an incredible event as well with Witz in alumni in Israel, together with Talfed. It's going to be at the World Mizrahi, that's Durham Paris. We're having it in the hall with Miriam Weiss. She's from Australia, and she was actually saved in France during the war. It's a triumph of survival. So we're organizing her to give a talk. I was actually at her home during Chol Hamoed, and I did a 3-hour interview. She is incredible. Wow. So if anybody's in Yerushalayim, everybody's welcome. It's at 7:45 on Thursday evening at World Mizrahi. And we're so grateful that Rav Peretz has allowed us to use the hall at World Mizrahi, which is right next to the Great Synagogue. So it's so important to, for Holocaust education, that we never forget the tremendous, horrendous events that happened to Am Yisrael, and that we are strong and we're here in Am Yisrael Chai. So it's going to be very special.
I'm sure it's
So
going to
wishing
be
you
very.
all a Shavuot Tov. Shavuot Tov, everyone.
I want to say thank you very much, Shakoa, Dr. Les, for all the hard work. And please, God, Kadosh Baruch Hu will keep you there to give us all the time, all the memories to speak to those that still alive and to do a good job like you're doing always. Shakoa, well done.
Rav, you're very kind. Thank you, Rav. Kol tov.
Go to, okay, we're going to start the show. As we mentioned, as I mentioned, we're going to speak about the counting of the Omer. Be'ezrat Hashem will try to explain today the source for counting of the Omer. Why do we count the Omer? We have to understand why we're going to count the Omer. That's going to be part of the subject of the show. Later on, we're going to tackle regarding the days of the Omer. And then I would like to tackle very important issue that I don't think that many of us actually take notice of it. It's the end, after we finish to say the counting of the Omer, there is three things that usually we should say. Many people skip it. And we'll see that it's so important to say it because there's a lot of remedy. And in the end, just the remedy of counting of the Omer, how we can benefit from the counting of the Omer. So Be'ezrat Hashem, na'aseh v'natzliach v'Hashem alenu berachamav yarviach. I would like to dedicate the show in memory of Esther Kaden Bat Ketzia, Mordechai Ben Rahma, Harav Avraham Chaim Ben Eliezer Yaakov, Tamar Bat Zehava, Yaakov Salomon Ben Farha, Dvorah Ruth Bat Beila, Shosha Blima Bat Mordechai Betzalel, Miriam Bat Moshe, Malka Regina Bat Joya, Beketi Gurgia Bat Farha, Nishmatam Tiet Tzrura Betzura Haim. Also, I would like to dedicate the show in the health of Menashe Naji Ben Farha, Liora Bat Miriam, Harav Moshe Ben Bahia Batya, Harav Moshe Ben Devora, Harav Avraham Ben Marina, Harav Shlomo Yehuda Ben Dalia, Dvorah Ruth Bat Beila, Dvorah Bat Esther, Orna Bluma Bat Miriam, Sheina Keila Bat Hana, Mordechai David Ben Leah, Haim Nahum Ben Chvi HaKohen, Shmuel Ben Michal, Baruch Ben Sarah, Tzvi Ben Hava, Shmuel Meir Ben Shosha Blima, Miriam Zelda Bat Liba, Moshe Abraham Ben Hena Riva, Haya Tzipora Bat Rachel, Ayala Eden Bat Rivka, Tova Liba Bat Rachel, ויהודית בת ריקה. Please God, רפואה שלמה to them and to כל פצועי עם ישראל בכל מקום שהם. Okay, ספירת העומר. Where is the source to counting of the Omer? The source to it come from our Holy Torah. The Torah tells us in Sefer Vayikra, in Parashat Emor. In Parashat Emor, Chazal tell us sorry, let me just mute because there's some noise in the background. Okay, better. Chazal tell us something very interesting. Chazal tell us, the Torah tell us, sorry, there, וספרתם לכם ממחרת השבת, 7 שבתות תמימות תהיינה. That means the Torah tell us that the following the Shabbos, we'll have to explain what is following the Shabbos. You should count 7 full weeks. 7 full weeks. If you divide it by 7, will give you 49. Okay, what's happening here? The Torah tells us that we should count following the Shabbos. Hazal in the Gemara in Masechet Menachot, in page 65, folio 2, explain what does it mean the following the Shabbos, referring the festival of Pesach. What does it mean? After the first day of Pesach, that means when we start Chol HaMoed in Eretz Israel, the first day of Chol HaMoed in Eretz Israel, they start counting the Omer. In the diaspora, it's the first, second night. That means the first time that we count the Omer, it's on the second night of Pesach. We start counting the Omer. Why do we used to count the Omer that the Torah tells us? We have to explain. During the time that Bet HaMikdash was exist, we used to bring a sacrifice that called Korban HaOmer. Korban HaOmer, we will make a shiur, special shiur about it. What is Korban HaOmer? What is the sacrifice of the Omer? I'm just going to explain it quickly. It's made from barley, okay? that they used to make a special sacrifice, and the night of the 16th or the night of the 17th of Nisan, and they used to do it in Jerusalem. They used to sacrifice on the Mizbeach, and that actually used to allow the new Tvuah. What does it mean? The new grain, that people can start eating the new grain of the flour. Okay, that's basically what it used to do. But why do we really count the Omer today that we don't have Bet HaMikdash? Bet HaMikdash does not exist. Chazal explained few different ideas why are we counting the Omer. We have to understand why are we counting the Omer. But before we start explaining that, I would like first of all to explain, is the counting of the Omer today that Bet HaMikdash not exist, is it mitzvah deoraita? Is it a positive command from the Torah, or it's a rabbinical mitzvah? That means, is it Hazal, just when I say Hazal, it's Chachamenu Zichronam Livracha. Is Hazal constitute for us that counting of the Omer, is it a rabbinical mitzvah, or is the mitzvah deoraita from the Torah? So most of the Rishonim say that today, although that we don't have Bet HaMikdash, this mitzvah is still deoraita, that it says, Usfartem lachem mimaharat Shabbat. You're still obligated to count. Some of the poskim say, no, it's mitzvah deoraita, because we not only that we don't have Bet HaMikdash, we don't have Korban Haomer, we don't do Korban Haomer, we can't sacrifice because there's no Bet HaMikdash. Yes, the counting is maybe the Torah tell us, but that's mitzvah, okay? They rabbinical. We're still doing it because it's a rabbinical mitzvah. So there is different opinion, depends who we going, which psak we taking and which psak we going. But vice versa, we still obligate to count the Omer. And the counting of the Omer, you all know, have to do with the brocha. Baruch ata Hashem, ken haolam, asher kiddeshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu ala Sefirat Haomer. And then we're counting the Omer. So from the Torah, we can see that the main mitzvah of counting the Omer, it's actually to prepare us towards the big day, the big holy day that we receive the Torah. Because the Torah tells us, Usfartem lachem mimaharat Shabbat, sheva Shabbatot temimot tiyena. That means that we should count 49 days, full 49 days. On the 50th days, we're going to celebrate the day that we receive the Torah. That means that the 50th day is going to be Chag HaShavuot, the holy festival. As I'll explain, you know why you're counting that? Because although that the receiving of the Torah happened, as you all know, in the first year after Bnei Israel left Egypt, in the year in Bashishi Besivan, the 6th of Sivan, in the year 2448 from the creation. Okay? Come Hazal and explain by that we counting the Omer still today, we actually doing something else. What are we doing? We're doing actually something that's actually commemorate, number one, receiving the Torah, but we're doing something else. We're receiving the Torah again. Nachon that the Torah exists, but we're receiving a new Torah. What new Torah? The Torah never going to change, Hazal tell us. No, the Torah not going to change, but we're going to change. What does it mean? That by that we counting the Omer and we preparing ourselves for that great days, okay? We actually preparing ourselves to receive new Torah. What is that new Torah? That new Torah, it's the new, number one, Hidushim, the new Pirushim. That means new ideas. Number two, new interpretation of the Torah that we didn't know. Not only that, we get that each one of us, according to his holiness, get a different Kedusha that he received different Hidushim on our holy Torah. by that we counting those 49 days, okay, awards Hag HaShavuot. In Hag HaShavuot, it depends on how much we prepare ourselves on those 49 days. According to that, HaKadosh Baruch Hu bringing us a special spiritual power that we can understand different Hidushim, a deeper Hidushim. Hidushim, it means different commentary on our Torah. Different ideas of interpretation of our Torah, and that's what we receive. So that's one of the ideas why are we receiving the Torah. Hazal come and tell us another Hidush, and the next Hidush I'm going to bring is Baal HaLibushim. Who's Baal HaLibushim? Rabbi Mordechai Yaffe. Rabbi Mordechai Yaffe, born in a city of Prague in the Czech Republic around 493, and he called most of his book, they call him Baal HaLibushim. We explained once before that he jumped into the sewage in Europe because a woman wanted to entice him to do Avera, and he asked HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and he jumped into the sewage, and when he came out, he promised HaKadosh Baruch Hu that because he saved him not to commit the Avera, the immorality Avera, that according to the clothes that he wear, he will write Hidushim. And they call him Baal HaLibushim. That's Rabbi Mordechai Yaffe. He was a very nice looking man. And we explained the story. Maybe Be'ezrat Hashem, sometime, another time, we'll tell the story again. And he said like this, he said that Hazal tell us in the Gemara in Masechet Menachot in page 65, folio 2, from that it says, Usfartem lachem. What it means lachem to you? It's come to teach us that each one of us individually have to count the Omer. Why that each one of us have to count the Omer? He explained from that you're learning that from that the Torah tell you lachem, each one individually during the counting of the Omer, if he doesn't miss any day, and he keep himself in holiness, okay, and he cleanse himself and prepare himself for Shavuot, for the night of Shavuot, okay, spiritually he gets uplifted, okay, and he can absorb extra Kedusha, extra holiness that brought down from heaven on us. Also, there is other explanation that why we're counting the Omer and why it's 49 Dafka days and not less or not more. So Hazal explained that when HaKadosh Baruch Hu redeemed the children of Israel from Egypt, the children of Israel reached the 49 level of Tumah. That means the 49 level of impurity. And because of that, every day that we're preparing ourselves for Hag HaShavuot, we have to cleanse ourselves. That means to take that impurity and we turn it to purity. That means that we're cleansing ourselves, we're working ourselves to get rid of ourselves, all the evil inclination and all of those things that, what we call it, the negative, okay, energy that we have, and we turn it to positive energy that we can understand our Holy Torah. I saw another commentary of Harav Tzvi Elimelech Shapira. Tzvi Elimelech Shapira, he born in Galicia around 250, right? You all know him as the Bnei Yisachar. A very famous book. He is very scholar rabbi. And he said that the main reason that we're counting the Omer, it's for our own benefit. And he explained like this. He said, when a person do a mitzvah, a person gets a reward in this world and for the world to come, okay? But sometimes the mitzvot that we do, it's mainly for the world to come. He said, but the mitzvah ta'omer, you get a benefit from it and you're gonna enjoy from it, that you get benefit in this world and for the world to come. Why? Because by that the person cleanses himself, now he can absorb more of the secret of the Torah, like we explained. So he benefit here in this world. And obviously from that he fulfilled the mitzvah of Sefirat Haomer. and learning Torah, he will get merit for the world to come. So that's why we're counting the Omer according to the Bnei Yisachar. I'm going to bring another 3 commentaries to explain why we're counting the Omer. How important is it? Rabbi David Abu Darham. Rabbi David Abu Darham, born in the city of Sevilla. Sevilla is a city in Spain. He born around 683 years ago. He was the student of Rabbi Yaakov Baal HaTurim, that born in Germany, that we quote. And he explained more, the explanation that he bring more on a pshat of the dvarim. And he said, the time now in Eretz Israel is the Aviv, the spring. Now it's called Hag HaAsif. It's time that people start harvesting the land, taking all the weeds and start collecting it and putting in the barn. And he said those time from Pesach to Shavuot, those 49 days, they are actually very, very busy days because everyone tried to harvest their field in the time of Bet HaMikdash, that was, everyone used to do it by hand. People used to be very busy. And people used to intend, because they're so busy, Rabbi David Abu Darham, that Hazal constitute for us to count the Omer, that those people not going to forget, okay, that the holy festival coming, that's Hag HaShavuot, the Hag Matan Torah, the festival that we receive the Torah. Because he said that if people are going to be so busy with their field, with their work, they intend to forget the festival. Therefore, Hazal constitute for us to count the Omer, and those people, although that they're working and they're counting the Omer, they're not going to forget, because that's going to remind them that on the 50th day is Hag HaShavuot, and then they have to celebrate Hag HaShavuot. He explained, and he bringing another idea that he said in his book, and he said that if you look, say, Rabbi David Abu Darham, that from Pesach until Shavuot, actually there is a judgment in the world. And the main reason that we counting the Omer, and the main reason that we cleansing ourselves, the main reason that we try to move from negativity to positive, what does it mean to get rid of all the tumah, the impurity that we have? It's because in Shavuot, that's the time that the world get judged, how much wheat gonna be in the world. That means how much grain of wheat's gonna be in the world. Say, Rabbi David Abu Darham, the main reason that we counting the Omer, it's to remind us that number one, that we have to daven to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu will bring prosperity on the wheats, the grain of wheats that we're going to have. That means that we should have, Be'ezrat Hashem, a lot of prosperity, that the year going to be a year of plenty, and not Chas v'Shalom, the opposite. That's why we're counting the Omer. Hazal come and teach us a different thing, and that more according to the pshat of the dvarim. When Moshe Rabbeinu told the children of Israel, when they left Egypt after the HaKadosh Baruch Hu passed over the house of the children of Israel and the plague of firstborn, Moshe Rabbeinu told the children of Israel, now you have to start to prepare yourself and cleanse yourself for 49 days. That means each one of them have to cleanse himself. Why? Moshe Rabbeinu told them that on the 50th day, they're going to receive the Holy Torah. And because the Jewish people were so excited to receive the Torah, Hazal said that they're counting the Omer, that they was busy, start counting the Omer. Today is one day, tomorrow is the second day that we coming closer to receive the Torah. So those the idea, why are we counting the Omer? There is many, many more. Bezrat Hashem, in the next series of Shorim that we're going to speak about the Omer, we're going to speak about also Lag BaOmer during the time. We'll explain all different ideas. I would like to explain the idea of the days, because the Torah tells us, "Usfartem lachem mimaharat hashabat sheva shabatot temimot." That means it's on from here that we have to count 7 weeks. What about the days? So to understand that, Hazal in the Gemara in Masechet Menachot, in page 66, folio 1, explains something extraordinary. I'm going to read the verse that speak about it, and then I'm going to translate it. Amar Abaye. Abaye said, Abaye was a sage, and he said, mitzvah leminyane. That means it's a mitzvah to count yomeh, mitzvah leminyane shavu'eh. What does it mean? Say Abaye in a Gemara, Masechet Menachot 66, folio 1. The same like it's a mitzvah to count the days, we also a mitzvah to count the weeks. The same like it's a mitzvah to count the weeks, we have a mitzvah to count the days. Okay, from here, we're coming to a very famous question. And I'll decide to bring it in Dafka now because we're speaking about days and weeks of the thing. We know that there is a mitzvah to count the days, and there is a mitzvah to count the week. The first 6 days of the counting, we do not mention weeks, only on the 7th day of the Haomer, and then we say, Hayom Shiva Yamim LaHaomer Shem Shavua Echad. That means from the 7th day, we start counting also the weeks. And here become a very, very famous question that been asked by the Shulchan Aruch. And the Shulchan Aruch say like this. He said, what's happened if a person been asked, for example, on the 23rd, the 26th, the 30th, whatever day is it, how many days of the Haomer? And he says to his friend that asked him how many days today, he said, today is 30 days. The Shaila become, can he count the Haomer or not? Because now he mentioned the days. There is a debate. First of all, did he say 30 days for the Haomer? Did he mention that? If he said the Haomer, there's a debate on it. Come the Shulchan Aruch, Rabbi Yosef Karo. Rabbi Yosef Karo, that wrote the Shulchan Aruch, born in a city of Toledo. Toledo is a city in Spain. He born around 535 years ago, plus minus. And he says that if a person said that the day, and he didn't mention the Shavuot, again, I repeat, a person said a day, but he didn't mention the Shavuot, okay? B'di'avad, he can still continue to daven with the brocha. Continue counting with the brocha. Okay, but lehatchila, we don't do that. Lehatchila, we don't say. He said, what's the problem? From that the Torah tells us, "Usfartem lachem mimaharat hashabat sheva shabatot temimot." That means, nachon that we have an obligation to count the days, like Abaye said in the Gemara, and also to count the weeks. But he count only one of them. That means that the brocha is not full. Therefore, he can continue and counting the brocha with counting the Sefirat Haomer with the brocha. Why? Because we have here what we call safek brachot leakel. If a person have a doubt about the brocha, and I will explain now, there is a leniency not to say the brocha. What does it mean? A person, for example, drank a cup of water, and he doesn't remember, did I say the brocha or I didn't say the brocha? I think I said the brocha. I'm not sure. If you have a debate, Hazal tell us a principle. Safek brachot leakel. Rather don't say the brocha, okay? Why? Not to mention and not to desecrate the name of the Almighty. Safek brachot leakel. That's how we paskin. From that, we're learning another halacha about counting on the Haomer. And with that, I'm going to finish with the halachot, and then I'm going to continue with the rest of the show. There is a question amongst the Mefarshim that the person didn't count the Sefirat Haomer, the counting of the Haomer at night. He forgot. Happened. We're human beings. The following day, during the day, it has to be during the day, he suddenly remembered that he didn't count the Omer. If he count now the Omer without a brocha, that night he can continue counting the Omer with a brocha. So that means if a person forget to count at night with a brocha, the following day, you have all day from the morning until the time that Sefirat Haomer, he can count the Omer without a brocha, the proper number of the days, okay? And then that evening he continue counting with the brocha. That's been pasken, that's the Mishnah Berurah, bringing it in Ilchot Haomer in Siman Taf Pei Tet. Taf Pei Tet, it's 489, okay? If someone want to check it up, just look there. There is a leniency for us. So from here we learn the idea of Safek Brachot Leakel. If we have a debate, if we said the brocha, we didn't say the brocha, and even if we're not sure, rather don't say the brocha. Okay, now I want to get to the second part of the show that I'm sure that many of us, after we counting the Omer, sometimes intend to skip after the Omer. After Sefirat Omer, there's three things that we have to say. Harahaman yachzir lanu avodat bet hamikdash. Okay, vivne yachzir avodat bet hamikdash bimera beyamenu. And after that, we have to say the prayer of Ana Bekoach. Ana Bekoach Gdulat Yemincha, that it's written in Sidurim. Also, the poem of Tehillim, Lamnatseach Binginot. Those three that if you look after we count the Omer, in the end of the Siddur, it's constitute for us to say. And it's very important that for us to understand, and I'm going to start with the word of the Mahar. The Mahar, who is Rabbi Chaim Vital. Rabbi Chaim Vital, born in Tzfat. He was the main student of Ari HaKadosh. He born around 481 years ago. And he wrote in Sha'ar HaKavanot, in Drushei HaPesach, okay? Drushei HaPesach is regarding the law of the Pesach and Sha'ar HaKavanot in Drush Yud Aleph. Drush Yud Aleph, it means a talk or verse 11. There he said like this. He talking in the name of his rabbi, Harav Yitzhak Luri Ashkenazi. That's Rabbeinu HaKadosh, okay, Hari HaKadosh. And he said that he, and I say he, the Hari HaKadosh, after he used to count the Omer, he used to say those three things. Number one, the Rahaman, the prayer of the Rahaman, the prayer of Ana Bekoach, and the prayer Lamnatseach Binginot, the poem of Tehillim. And he explained like this. Why it's so important to say it? Because quite often I see people that counting the Omer and then straight going Alenu Leshabeach. And it's very important for us to understand that even if we finish the counting of the Omer and we have to say Kaddish, okay? Say those prayers and say Alenu Leshabeach or say Alenu Leshabeach, and then make sure that you're saying Harahaman, Yachzir lanu avodat bet hamikdash, then you say Ana Bekoach, that prayer, we will explain what's so special about it. And then the poem of Tehillim, that call, it's poem of Tehillim 67, by the way, Lamnatseach Binginot, okay, Mizmor LeDavid. What's so special about it? So why do we say Harahaman, Yachzir lanu avodat bet hamikdash? What does it mean? That we're asking there, Harahaman, it's the Almighty, okay? Hu yachzir lanu avodat bet hamikdash bimera beyamenu amen. That means that we're asking HaKadosh Baruch Hu that he should bring back the serving of Bet HaMikdash speedily in our days. What's so special about it? Here we're asking and we're davening to HaKadosh Baruch Hu that he will build Bet HaMikdash. And by that he build Bet HaMikdash, that will do end to all our exile. So the brocha come By that we're asking the Almighty, okay, to bring back the work of Bet HaMikdash that the Kohanim going to start serving. Kohanim ba'avodatam, Leviim beduchanam, Israel b'ma'amadam. That means that here we're asking HaKadosh Baruch Hu to build Bet HaMikdash. By that will do an end to our exile. Then come the tefillah of Ana Bekorach. The tefillah of Ana Bekorach, Gdulat Yemincha, it's been written by the sage Rabbi Nehoniah ben Hakana. He was a sage that he lived in the 1st century. That was right at the beginning of the Second Temple. Okay, and if you look carefully at that prayer has something very interesting, and we're going to explain why is it so important to say that. Tfilat Ana Bekorach, if you look carefully, there is 7 lines. 7 lines. Okay? That's Ana Bekorach. In each line, there is 6 words. Okay? If you take 6 times 7, okay, you'll find that you reach to number 42. That means that there is 42 words on Tfilat Ana Bekorach. What is number 42 come to tell us? Hazal explained that there is here too many secrets. Number 1, 42, it's come to symbol the 42 journeys of Bnei Israel in the wilderness. These 42 words are all the 42 journeys that there is that the Bnei Israel done in the wilderness. Come the Mekubalim, the mystical rabbi, and explain it more in the depths. He said, if you take the first letter of every word, I mean the acronym letter of every word, okay, you'll get the holy name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu that been built from 42 letters. That means that we see from here, said the Mefarshim, that those 42 letters, 42 also words, come to actually do a lot of things. Number 1, come to save the Jewish people from She'abud Malchuyot. What it's called She'abud Malchuyot? It's royal servitude. That means to save us, okay? That number 1, not going to be anymore, the Jewish people not going to be dependent on any other nation. Not only that, it's to come and to help us, okay? And to protect us during the time of the long exile that we are in. Now you're all going to say, but we have the states of Israel. Who's going to tell us what to do? You all see exactly when the Jewish government decide to do something, or the Israeli government decide to build a new settlement, immediately the American have something to say, or the United Nations have something to say. That's what it's called She'abud Malchuyot. That in this prayer that constituted by the sage, okay, that there is 42 words, 42 also letters. The first acronym of every letters, there is the holy name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. By that we're mentioning it, we're asking HaKadosh Baruch Hu that number 1, to remove from us this royal servitude. Number 2, to protect us and redeem us from this long exile. So that's the secret of Ana Bekorach, that been written by the sage Nehoniah ben Hakana. Then we have Lamnatseach ben Ginot. Lamnatseach ben Ginot, it's a poem number 67, okay, that you can find in Sefer Tehillim. And Hazal explains something very interesting. When I say Hazal, I'm actually speaking to the book Hayya Adam. Hayya Adam, it's a book that's been written by Rabbi Avraham Deinsning, okay? He born in the city of Deinsning in Poland. He born around plus minus 275 years ago. And in his book, he explained why Hazal constitute for us to say that poem of song by the end of counting of the Omer. Why is it so special? So listen what he said. He said, number one, if you look, there is 7 verses on that Mizmor Tehillim. Number two, he said, if you look, there is 49 words. Okay? I counted, and there is 8 verses, and I will explain, and there's more than 49. What he refers, he doesn't take the last verse, and he referring for the first, okay, 7 verses, and the 49 letters that there is on it. And what does it say? He explained like this. It said that the 49 words that we have, not 49 letters, 49 words, the 49 words that we have in that poem of Tehillim, it was equivalent to the 49 days that there is from Pesach to Shavuot. That those 49 we have to cleanse ourselves. The 7, okay, chapters that we have, it's towards the 7 weeks that we're counting of the Omer. That's the 49. He said, the main reason that we said Dafka dat Mizmor Tehillim, that Dafka dat poem of Tehillim, after Sefirat Haomer, because the entire world we explain now is in judgment, as Hazal say. He said, because the judgment now, how much grain the world will have. Is it going to be a year of plenty with grain and wheat, Be'ezrat Hashem? Or Haz v'shalom, I don't want to mention. So it's come to tell you that you take that poem of Tehillim, and you say it after Sefirat Haomer, Dafka after Sefirat Haomer, and we're asking HaKadosh Baruch Hu that he will bless the world, and especially Eretz Israel, with plenty, the year that's going to be full with plenty. When I say plenty, it's not just quantity, also quality, that the wheat will have a good quality, okay, this year. That means that this year going to be blessed, how much wheat's going to be in the world, how much flour we have in the world. And he said from that it say in the verse, what do we say in the verse? Elohim Yehonenu V'Yivarchenu. That means that the Almighty, first of all, going to give us a hen, okay, that we going to be fine, number one, like, okay, but also he will bless us. That means that we should have the blessing that this year going to be a year of plenty, Be'ezrat Hashem. Now, I would like, before I end up the show, I would like to reach to the remedy of counting the Sefirat Haomer. Baal Hafla'ah, I mentioned him a number of times, Rabbi Yeshua Levy Horowitz. He born in Galicia. He born around 292 years ago, plus minus, and his book called Baal Hafla'ah. And in his book, he said that counting of the Omer, the counting of the Omer, it's a remedy. Listen, he brings different idea that when people count the Omer, how much benefit they can get from counting the Omer. And he say number one, he say it's a remedy to be saved from the evil eye. People don't want to have evil on them, they must count the Omer, number one. Number two, he said that any sorceries, any witchcrafting that people do against them, the counting of the Omer is a remedy to protect them from that. Not only that, from any enemies that try to harm them, the counting of the Omer is a remedy for protection. Not only that, he said that if a person have not only enemy, people that hate them, doesn't like them, okay, or any other chorus, the counting of the Omer, if a person count the Omer properly, okay, that can help him to be protected from those people. Say that the remedy of the counting of the Omer, every person can get from it a full protection. I repeat again, from the evil eye, from any sorcery or witchcrafting that they do against them, enemies, people that hate them, and any other chores. So the counting of the Omer Rabotai, it's something on a different level. It's to protection to us personally and to the entire world. And we see from here, Rabotai, that the counting of the Omer is a very important thing. But it's not only just important to count the Omer and not to say the last three things that we mentioned, Arahaman, okay, ויחזיר לנו עבודת בית המקדש במהרה בימינו. People should make sure that after the counting of the Omer, it's very important to say that. And then the prayer of Ana Bekoah of the sage Nehonia ben Hokana, that it's come to number one to save us. And we're asking HaKadosh Baruch Hu to redeem us from this long exile. And the last thing, it's the poem of Tehillim, number 67, Lam Natseach bin Ginot, that main idea behind it, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu would will bless us with a year of plenty, because now it's the time that the world get judged. How much crops, how much weeds gonna be in a world. So because we want to have plenty seeds of grain, we davening to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and we sang that Mizmor Tehillim, because in that Mizmor Tehillim, we say that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, number one, will give us chen, give us a like, that people will like us, but more than that, that he gonna like us, and he gonna bless us with plenty. So from here, we learn how important is Sefirat HaOmer. Each one of us have to understand that Sefirat HaOmer, it's not just counting. We get a lot of benefit, like we mentioned. And by Ezrat Hashem, that should each one of us, when he count the Omer, should have the full kavanah, remember the days, remember the weeks, okay? To say it correctly. And by that he said correctly, okay, we can uplift and we can cleanse ourselves. So when we reach the 49 days, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will bring on us a special spiritual prosperity that we can understand the Torah in a different way, in a new way, that we get new Hidushim. And that's the secret of counting of the Omer. If you have any question, please unmute yourself and I'll try to answer the question. Bechavod.
Rabbi, it's
All right, Anthony, how are you?
There's two people. Anthony, I think that Eitan was first, if you don't mind. Eitan, bechavod.
Rav, so what happens if if somebody, obviously when you miss the one night and the next day, then you can't count anymore.
Very good question.
So what happens with the brocha then? So you still get you still count without the brocha, so you still get the zegula?
Okay.
Still get the protection?
Hazal say, nachon that you miss the brocha, asher kideshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al Sefirat HaOmer. We mustn't say that. That we don't say. If you miss the night and you miss the full day until the second night, okay? That's what you're referring to. Correct me if I'm right.
Correct.
Okay. You must continue counting the Omer, but without a brocha. Again, I repeat, you must continue counting of the Omer without a brocha. Okay. That you miss one day, it's a hefsek. Okay, you done hefsek. But to count the Omer, you're obligated to continue counting. Okay.
So the brocha, the segula that the Rav mentioned, and the protection that you get.
For sure. No. The counting of the Omer and the praying of the Omer, we mustn't mix it together. Beseder, Eitan, because the prayer, it's for you don't have sick. That's it. But counting of the Omer, it's a different thing.
No,
Okay.
but I'm saying the Rav mentioned that you get there's a gula for protection and you get
It's
blessing
still
from.
going to continue as long that you count all the 49 days. Never mind the bracha.
Vanti.
follow.
Okay, so if one is
Better.
missed whatever a few days, you should still count and still get the segula.
Absolutely. Count the right day. Continue counting the right day. It's very important.
Okay, thank you.
בסדר? כן. Who else? בכבוד. Who else?
Hello?
Yes, Anthony. בכבוד. Anthony, Mark, you'll ask after that. Okay, Mark?
Okay.
Okay.
Anthony, בכבוד.
Why don't we say Shechianu when we start counting the Omer the first night? Shechianu v'kiyamanu v'higiyanu lazman hazeh. It's the start of a new thing. Why don't we say Shechianu?
Very good question. It's a question that many of the Mefarshim ask, and Hazal explained that number one, it's mitzvah mitmashechet. It's a long mitzvah. Okay? It's not a short mitzvah, like a person buy a new shirt and he have to say Shechianu v'kiyamanu. Or it's a festival like we're sitting tonight, and tonight it's Pesach night, we say Shechianu. Okay? Because it's a long mitzvah, number one, we don't say. Number two, another idea that the Mefarshim bring, how can you say a brocha of Shechianu on something that there is no physical about it? It's not like a festival that we celebrating. What are you saying Shechianu about something that we're counting? Doesn't make sense. That's number two. Other opinion that bring, what are you saying Shechianu about what? That you're cleansing yourself? You can't say. Okay, three different ideas. Beseder, Antonio.
Okay, thanks very much.
Pleasure. Bechavod, Mark, yes.
As an extension to what Eitan asked, what is the position if you are not sure if you missed a day? Maybe, like, for example, you get to day 5 and then you think to yourself, wow, I don't remember counting day 3. What do you do then? Do you continue with the bracha, or is it safek?
Mark, you don't talk a lot, but when you talk, you shoot atomic bomb. So I'll explain. Let me first explain your question to the audience, and then you correct me if I'm wrong. There is a shala amongst the poskim. Sorry, there is talking at the back. I just want to mute everyone, and then those that want to ask question, they will unmute. You ask a person not sure if he count today is the 4 or the 5 days. Nachon? No? What did you ask? Unmute yourself.
When you get to let's say day 10.
Okay.
And when you think back, you think to yourself, I know I counted all the days, but I don't remember counting day number 4.
Okay.
It's a suffix in your head.
Okay.
Now you've already passed. You passed the day. It's too late, but you've been counting with the bracha up to say day 10. But now, what should you do as to continue?
Okay. So here we have sfek sfeka. What does this mean, a sfek sfeka? You have 2 spekot. I have a 1 safek. Maybe I counted properly. The second safek that we have, maybe I didn't count that day. Maybe I didn't say the brocha. I'm not sure. Hazal tell us in that case, because we have here a sfek sfeka, you might not, but you might, yes, and you continue, therefore you can continue counting with the brocha.
Interesting, yeah.
Why?
Very good.
Why, Mark? Because we have
sfek sfeka.
2 spekot. Sfek sfeka, it means that I have 2 doubt. Sfeka is a doubt. Sfek sfeka is 2 doubt. Beseder?
Yeah. Cool.
Okay, who else wanted to ask? Pleasure. I think Stephen wanted to ask.
Yes, Rabbi, I do want to ask a question.
Okay.
What about women's counting the Sefirat?
Oh, I didn't want to touch it, but you asked. Okay. So I'm sure your wife next to you.
Absolutely.
So Brenda, listen to that answer. Thank you. Lechatchila, the Mefarshim say that should women count or not? That's the shaila that brought. There is some of the poskim that they're very lenient about it. They say that you should count. According to the Kabbalah, the Zohar say that women better should not count and should not say the brocha. Should not say the brocha and should not count. Now, depends which minhag you're taking. The Sfaradim that follow mainly the Tfilat Ta'ari, okay, and follow the halachot of the Zohar, they take it very seriously. If you look the way that we davening, it's all according to Tfilat Rabbeinu Ari HaKadosh, okay? The Sfaradi woman, not only that they don't count, they don't say the brocha, they don't count Sefirat Haomer. In counting of the Haomer with the brocha, there is a big safek. Why? Because here there is mitzvah she'azman gerama. Okay? What it means mitzvah she'azman gerama? There is a mitzvah here that it's a time bounded. And a woman not obligated mitzvot she'azman gerama. They're not obligated to say with the brocha. You follow, Stephen, until here? Regarding the counting without a brocha, here come the leniency. Okay, there is some say, you know, if they want to count, let them count. You know what I'm saying? Well, what can we do today? The women are
they want to count. They're much more educated. They want to count.
Yeah, they're more educated. They're more mechubad. You know, so let them. Better not to fight with the wife and let her count if she really wants. So there's different opinion. There's which one of them you holding into that opinion. You follow. There is the more strict, I repeated, the more strict of the Zohar and the Mekubalim, that they say that preferably she's not going to say, Shev ve'al ta'aseh, and better that she doesn't say the brocha and she doesn't count, because she doesn't need it. Okay, the woman doesn't need that.
But doesn't she need all the brochas and all the protections and all that stuff?
She get it. If you count, she get it automatically. Now you're asking a different question, Nahon. You're asking if she doesn't count the Omer, will she get all of that remedy that we mentioned, the protection and everything? That's a different question. Okay. So Hazal say, when a person married, whatever Torah he studied, whatever mitzvah he do, automatically his wife get a share from it. 100% share. Not 50-50, 100% share. If you count the Omer, you get the mitzvah 100%, your missus get 100%.
Got it.
Beseder, Stephen?
Yeah. What do you want to
say? So if a woman's not married?
If a woman's not married, then what?
Then she doesn't get it.
She doesn't get it. She doesn't get
the
merit.
I missed you.
If the woman's not married, then she doesn't get any merit.
Okay, what's happening? Oh.
I'm putting you on the spot, right?
Who say that? Why are you saying that? Then there is the father. The father, when the father do mitzvot, he do it for all the family. That include the kids. Because it's a mitzvah that no time bounded, you know what I'm saying? And the father have the obligation, when he fulfilled that, she get automatically the rewards. The same like in Sukkot, a woman not obligated to sit in a sukkah. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if she sit on a sukkah, what is that considered? Has v'shalom? No. But if she doesn't sit on a sukkah, she doesn't get the merit. She will get the merit. She will get the merit. Beseder, Stephen.
But at the end of the day, if a woman wants to do the counting, she can do it. As you say, according to the
It depends what you hold. Preferably without the brocha. Beseder?
Yeah. Got it.
Any other question? Who wanted to
one
ask?
more, Rav. Just one clarification. I'm not quite sure I understood properly. The three things after the Omer, like Anabakor, and that, is it only at the end of the counting or each day?
Yes. No, in the range of everyday counting. Every day that we count.
Every day you say the three things.
Like, okay, you say Ar-Rahman, okay? And then you say Ana Bekoach, and then you say Lam Natzeh.
Every day.
Beseder?
Okay, thank you.
Every day. Every day. Yes. I see Eitan want to ask question. Yes, Eitan. Just unmute yourself. Eitan.
Yeah, Rav, I just wanted to ask, what's the difference between Hanukkah, where the woman has to say, because that's also time bound. We see that there because they also were saved in the miracles, so they say that they should say the bracha. But with the Omer, you're saying now something very profound.
Not only that,
that we're getting protection. Yeah. So
let me
like
explain
a similar thing.
There's a Hanukkah, the miracle of Hanukkah, or the miracle of Purim, let's take, or the Pesach. They all obligate. I told that there is a time bounded on that mitzvah because they was part of that miracle that happened. What is happening? In Hanukkah, the women have the same decree like the men, the same in Purim. In Pesach, they also was in slavery, the same like the man. Although that it's mitzvah that there is a time bounded to it, but because they merit also the obligate to keep it. In Sefirat Haomer, from what we explained, what does that have to do with the woman? You know what I'm saying? It's more for the man, because the man was the one that was more involved. Like you see in Het Egel, okay? Who was the one that was enthusiastic to do it? Was the man. And as a matter of fact, the woman refused to give their jewelry, the gold. They didn't give their gold. And you saw the 3,000 men being killed in Het Egel. So, and Sefirat Haomer, because it's Tikunei Olamot, Yesh Shama Sfirot, okay? Like the Mekubalim explained, there is Sfirot, counting. And the counting, according to the Zohar, it's better for the woman not to say the counting of the Haomer, especially with the Brocha. But if they want to say, what can you say? Today, the women are very respectable, the number one, they're very learned, they're very knowledgeable. It's not like in olden days. So today, the Rabbonim more lenient about it, especially the Ashkenazi Rebbe, more lenient towards that the woman can count the Omer. Beseder, Eitan?
So would that work? Would that work with the children?
Okay. Any other question? Bechavod, Rabotai, who else regarding the counting of the Omer, or regarding in general the mitzvah of the Sefirat Haomer? Why is it so important?
Hello, Rob, can I just ask a question?
Sure, I waited for you, Jeffrey. I missed you. I didn't see you for a long time. I don't know where you disappeared.
You mentioned about was that the Balanafla, the Balanafla.
Balafla, yeah. Balafla. Rabbi Yeshua Levy Horowitz, yes.
Balafla. And he mentioned that from the counting, there's a protection from us personally. You gave the three ways. You're saved from the evil eye. We say from sorcery and from our enemies, either personally or not, of hatred. The people
enemies
that hate. There's like a protection
that don't really like you.
It's like a protection. My point is this: if that's the case, we've been saying this.
Yeah.
Millions of people have been saying this every single year. We've counted every single year. We still have the evil eye. We don't have a protection from sorcery, and our enemies hate us even more. And we're saying it
so
every
how does
year.
it work? So how does it work? You're asking, tell me,
Exactly.
how does it work?
Exactly.
So you have to understand, in Jewish remedy, whenever we say Jewish remedy, okay, whenever we say Jewish remedy, you have to understand, whenever we say Jewish remedy, we have to understand something very important. We have to understand that it's according to how much we are cleansing ourselves, how much we focusing on Sefirat Haomer. Do we understand that every day after Sefirat Haomer, if you look there, there's all an aside, there is Gvura sheba Gvura, Chesed sheba Chesed, you know, there's every week, okay, because there is Sheva Sfirot. Okay, look at those counting. Do we understand that we're focusing on the brocha, or we just like sheep? Hayom kach v'kach la'omer. The remedy will work is how much focusing, how much kavanah we have in a brocha. You follow what I'm saying? How much kavanah that when we say Hayom kach v'kach la'omer, today is so and so for the omer, how much focusing are we having? Are we on that level that we're trying to cleanse ourselves and we understand? And then when we say Harahaman, and then when we say the tefillah of Nehoniah ben Hakana, Ana Bekoach, that there is a lot of secret behind it, that there is the 42 holy name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that in increment of everyone. Are we focusing on it? For לדוגמה, Ana Bekoach, Aleph, and then come Bekoach, and then Gimel. So it's Aleph, Bet Gimel. Akon mentioned it. You have to focus. That's the beginning. Ana Bekoach Gdulat Yemincha. Then come Yud. Are we focusing on it? And if we focus on those holy 42 letters of the holy name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, then the remedy will work. You understand? But if we just count the Omer like sheep, like a sheep, after the Rabbi say or the Hazan say, it doesn't make a difference who say. Without any focusing, what did we done? What did we really done? Let's be honest. What did we really done? It's the same like reading a book. Yeah. Okay. Or when you daven and you have a meaning for it. When you daven in the morning, or when you daven at Mincha, or when you daven in Mariv, okay, or on Shabbat and Yom Tov. If you just read it like a book, okay, so you have the mitzvah of reading. But did you get the full reward of kavanah and everything? Beseder, you understand the concept?
Yes, I understand the concept, but here we are with our nation, perhaps maybe 10% of the whole nation are counting and doing it properly. And there's of the 10%, there's only probably 1% that really understands. That really understands the significance. So therefore, it's very, very difficult. And for us to get out of this mire that we're in.
But now we're learning.
Yeah, but we've got to spread it around. It's got to be spread for people that want to listen.
That's what we have. That's what I have created, Nahar Torah. Nahar Torah is a site that you get shiurim for free. 7 days a week. Rabotai, 7 days a week. You're going to laugh. 7 days a week we have shiurim. Even on Shabbos, Motzei Shabbos, we have shiurim. There's different rabbonim. It's all for free. You can get daf yomi. You can learn everything. I created it. All the rabbonim that on that site, they for free. And if you miss something, you can go to Rabbi David Levy Nahar Torah. We managed to load after we have a problem with YouTube. We lost 450 shiurim. We managed to reload, with thanks to Dr. Les, 375 shiurim back. We still 100 shiurim backwards, but we're loading all of those shiurim. So you have it on record. You go to Nahar Torah, you write Rabbi David Levy Nahar Torah, and you can scroll through it. There's 375 different shiurim and all different subjects. You name it. You can look and you can learn. That's what we're creating. That's what we're here for. We're trying to spread the word of Hashem. You know what I'm saying? More than that, I can't do. I need help for people to help me to spread it. We try. And there's many people that jump into the wagon to help us to do that. And Be'ezrat Hashem, I hope that HaKadosh Baruch Hu will bless me, that this Shiurei Torah that I give, they are all over the world, people watching them. It's just that we need more people to watch them and more depths. And Be'ezrat Hashem, I'm trying now for the last few weeks, and someone of you, maybe that's the right time, can help me that whenever people are going to go to the internet, that Nahar Torah will come. If anyone have any idea how to do that, that will be a zchut for him, that the shorim of the Torah are going to jump for everyone. Everyone can benefit from it. There is 375 shorim that I give. These other rabbonim that give daf yomi, give dirshu, we give dirshu. There is Parshat HaShavua. There's different topics. There's all different shorim. There's Mishnah Berurah, all different rabbonim that give 7 days a week. From the morning, if you look at the schedule, if you go to Nahar Torah and you look at the schedule, there is rabbonim non-stop giving shorim. In dirshu, in daf yomi, you want it in Hebrew, you want it in English. I tried to make everything. Not only that, in Nahar Torah, we now taking ourselves to teach people to learn, to prepare them for the bar mitzvah free of charge, those that can't. Free of charge. You know what is it to prepare someone for his bar mitzvah portion free of charge? How much time does it take? There's a rabbi that took it on himself. We're trying our best. Beseder, Jeffrey, we try.
I hear, and it's actually amazing, and it needs to be spread. But what I'm saying is that all these people, all the Yidden all over the world, there's just a minority, just a small amount that's what you want to hear it. They even want to understand it because of the way we are. One last question, Rav. It's if we've counted the day and we've got to the end of the week and we start on the second week and we've counted the day and we've got to count the week. Does the next day you say with a bracha or you don't?
Oh, very good question. What you say, that if a person count the days, but he forgot to count the weeks, okay? Can he continue count with the bracha? So, le'alacha b'pasken, there is some of the poskim say there is no problem to count with a bracha. Why? Because it say that the Gemara that we brought, you remember the Gemara in Masechet Menachot, where you remember that 66 folio 1. You remember I mentioned it. Amar Abaye. Abaye say that the same like you count the days, the same like you obligate to count the day. Remember that. You also obligate to count the week.
Yes.
I'll say from here that it say, what do you learn? That it say, Usfartem lachem. That means each one of us have to count. Now, that he maybe didn't count the week, but he didn't count the week, but he count the days. Therefore, lehatchila, he shouldn't do that, okay? But he can continue count with the bracha.
Okay. Thanks for that. I needed that.
Very good question. No, very, very good question. Shkor.
Bless you. Thank you, though. Thank you.
Pleasure. Any other question, Rabotai? If there is any more question? No. Okay, I would like to take the opportunity, and Be'ezrat Hashem, we're going to meet this coming Thursday, if Hashem Yirtzeh, please God, that we're not going to have any load shedding, and that time on Thursday night at 8 o'clock, we'll do Parashat HaShavua, Parashat Tazria, Metzorah. This week, this coming Shabbos, we're going to read 2 Parashiyot. Parashat Tazria, Metzorah, Be'ezrat Hashem, we're going to do a shiur. Also, I would like to appeal to all of you. We started already a month, almost 2 months ago, at Yeshiva College. I give a shiur live on Shabbos, every Shabbos, an hour before Mincha. This week, for the first 15 minutes, no one arrived, but Baruch Hashem, after that, it came. But try to come and join the shiur, because on Shabbos, I'm doing the shiur in much more depth. So, Be'ezrat Hashem, that if you all come and join us on Shabbos an hour before Mincha at the big shul at Yeshiva College at Bet Arav, you're going to get much more Hidushim in depth, Be'ezrat Hashem. In the meantime, I would like to wish each one of you, first of all, thank you very much for joining us for the show, to have a beautiful rest of the night and a beautiful coming week to all of us. Have a great evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. All the best. Good night.
Good night. Thank you.